Finally, we have the greatly awaited announcement from the Initiative, which is Xbox's newest studio being built from the ground up. And from the announcement, it's confirmed to be their reimagining of Perfect Dark. And from what I saw in the trailer and from the developers talking, it looks to be a completely different take on the game and character. I mean, just look at these visuals from the cinematic trailer and look at the type of game this could be. From the get-go, the developers talk about the game being very ambitious and also competing in story with shows and movies. They also talked about the technology behind it and how they really wanted to make it a very physical game that really puts the level of immersion right in your face. Now, since this was announced at the Game Awards, there was a lot of other games that stood out, which was pretty awesome to see from a gamer's perspective. But overall, I have to say that this announcement is something we as gamers have been waiting for a very long time. I mean, this studio was announced all the way back in 2018 at E3 and has started from the ground up to be built. So I'm excited to finally get the announcement, but also get a pretty awesome look at the world they're building. And this isn't something that I expected, honestly. I truly thought that they would announce the game at the award show, but I never thought they would have a pretty deep dive into the game and a cinematic trailer to go along with it. To me, this game might be a little closer to release than we thought, and the hiring spree for the game might happen during 2021 when they bring more people onto the games and the team so they can finish it. Either way, let's get into the details of what was said by the developers and what the trailer shows, because this is something different and it looks like something we've never seen before, especially with the grand scale of the game and what I could only assume is a pretty big open world game with a lot of different elements. But more importantly, let's just finally talk about the AAA game that the Initiative has put in their job descriptions, because this game truly does push the boundaries of what we can expect from them. And like one of the developers said, this can finally be done because they have the power to do just that, which is the Xbox Series X console. Let's get into it. But first, like always, if you like the video, hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. So the first thing I want to bring up is this game has been in development for 2 years now, and we all know that the team working on it is very talented. They're one of the most talented teams out there, and I have to say that's because they got so many people from all over the industry that have made massive AAA games for years. So when they bring people like that onto a team, you can only imagine what type of game they're trying to make. And we got that answer with Perfect Dark. That's right, Agent Dark is back, and I'm excited to say she looks a lot different, and the art direction and theme of the game does look a lot more dark and story driven. But first, let's talk about the game and the studio behind it. Here's what the article had to say about it. Mysterious Xbox Super Studio, the Initiative, has revealed its first game, a brand new Perfect Dark. Revealed at the Game Awards 2020, the Initiative described it as a first-person shooter with an eco-sci-fi theme. No gameplay was shown, but a cinematic trailer was revealed to set the stage of its world and conflict. And an official blog post said it's aiming to deliver a secret agent thriller set in a near-future world. So right off the bat, the first thing the trailer builds up for us is the eco-sci-fi theme. As you can see, the world has been altered by floods, sandstorms, hurricanes, and a bunch of natural disasters that have devastated the entire planet, which to me brings a very interesting starting point to the game because it allows the developer to have freedom on how they want to build the world. They can ground it in reality, but also flirt with different things that you can't do if the planet was to mimic what we already have today. So that instantly stood out to me because that does change the dynamic of Perfect Dark and puts the game in a very different spot, especially when you look at spy games. That really does make it look futuristic, but also brings it to the blockbuster territory, which the article and developers of the game point out here. In an extended introductory video, game director Dan Newberg described it as a reinvention of the franchise, saying there really isn't a game out there that's hitting that sort of blockbuster secret agent vision. The trailer indicates that original protagonist Joanna Dark will be returning as the main character here. No date or release window was announced. Now, this is the type of thing I want to hear when Xbox talks about the Initiative's game, because they've sort of built this hype around the studio and game by just hiring great talent. Because if people pay attention, Xbox hasn't really said anything about the Initiative. It's mainly just job listings and talent joining the studio that's been building up this hype around the studio. Not to mention developer interviews where they talk about building something special and really pushing the boundaries of what a AAA game could be. That's why they brought so many talented people onto the team from so many talented studios from around the gaming world. And that reason is so they can push the hardware of the Xbox Series X, but also create a game that's a blockbuster in the biggest terms. And what's even more intriguing is the fact that they talk about a spy game that's a huge spy game and something different. And from what we've seen, it looks like they're really trying to pull that off, especially since games like Splinter Cell, which is probably the biggest spy game ever created, has been MIA for years now. It looks like the initiative and the people at Xbox are trying to fill that void for gamers and bring a very memorable game out, which brings a smile to my face because there was a lot of rumors saying that the initiative's game might not be AAA and that they will bring a smaller game out for gamers and for Xbox Game Pass. Well, if we look at what the developers say directly, you can see that's just not the case. It looks like they really want to bring out a big blockbuster title that's centered around Secret Agent Vision, which means gadgets and cool weapons that really give you an advantage over your enemies. And if you look at the destruction that's in the trailer, you can see that the drone being flown in is seeing the aftermath of Agent Dark's destruction. And that to me just looks awesome, but let's see what else the article had to say on the game. The game appears to be a reboot of sorts, with game director Dan Newberg saying in an interview posted on YouTube shortly after the announcement that the studio will be reinventing the franchise. Part of that will entail making the game's combat very spy-focused, which the developers distinguish from standard first-person shooter fare as being more acrobatic and less cover-based. Now, the biggest thing I take away from this is the first-person shooter fare. If you remember, Perfect Dark is first and foremost a first-person shooter, and if we see games like Cyberpunk, Doom Eternal, or even Dying Light 1 and 2, we know that we can have some amazing experiences with a first-person game that really pushes the standard of what a AAA game can be. And that's exactly what the Initiative's game is looking to do. They want to create a unique first-person experience that's centered around the spy world. But what I love about this is that it's not a grounded spy game, it would seem. Instead, the gadgets and all the toys we get to destroy enemies with will be futuristic. I mean, they even had the wall-mounted machine gun in the trailer, which is one of the most popular features of Perfect Dark. I would use that laptop gun on the wall all the time when I was a kid playing the game on my N64. To me, there's a lot of homage paid in this game, and I'm glad that the franchise is getting revealed finally, especially since it's been rumored forever, which this article points out here. A new Perfect Dark has been rumored for some time, with Xbox previously downplaying the creation of a Perfect Dark Twitter account that looked to have been created by a Microsoft email address. However, a Fable account made at around the same time was subsequently used for the upcoming sequel. The initiative was announced at E3 2018 and has since hired staff from the likes of Crystal Dynamics, Bungie, Naughty Dog, and more. The Perfect Dog blog post says the studio tried to bring some of the most talented game makers from around the industry who all share a passion for storytelling, world building, and creating memorable game experiences for Perfect Dark. Head of Xbox Phil Spencer has previously teased that the initiative was working on new things and old things. And there you have it, everyone. We know what those old things are. It's Perfect Dark. All of the rumors in the videos I've created have finally paid off. We had hints and ideas that the initiative was going to make a Perfect Dark game. Even the Twitter account was hinted at months ago, which again, I made a video about. Not to mention, a lot of people were saying this game wants to be story driven, which is great for spy movies because they can create an awesome villain and just really take the storytelling in so many different ways. As you can tell, I'm excited for the game and I can't wait to see what else they have for us in the future. Especially like the article mentions, there's so many talented people in this studio and they truly brought some of the best developers to make a massive blockbuster quadruple-A game that competes with shows and movies, which to me sounds like that might be a hint at storytelling. Maybe they bring this out in parts and have episodic stories that tie in together over time, so maybe this game comes out in episodic form and we get massive AAA experiences in 10-hour spurts or even 15-hour spurts. But they're high-quality, massive experiences that we get to experience over time. Either way, I'm glad they finally announced a big quadruple-A Xbox game that we've all been waiting for. Now, we just have to wait to play it on our Xbox Series X consoles. Either way, Xbox is finally bringing out a single-player, story-driven game that we're all excited for. But enough of what I think about all this, tell me what you think about this game. Were you surprised to see the announcement? Are you excited for a Perfect Dark game? What type of gadgets do you think will be in the game? When will we get a release date? Do you think we'll get gameplay reveals next year? How big do you think this game is going to be? What other games were you excited to see at the award show? Are you hyped like I am for Xbox's massive Perfect Dark game? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support helps out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamertag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. Right now, I'm playing Immortals Fenyx Rising. That game is so much fun. It really doesn't take itself serious. The world is beautiful, the combat is awesome, and I honestly just love the team behind it. I feel like this is becoming one of my favorite developers in gaming. These people are just great. They made Odyssey and now this game, two games that I've absolutely adored. And I love that they're focused on the mythological aspect of the Greek gods, and I have a feeling they'll start doing this in more games. Maybe go to Norse mythology or other mythologies around the world, and they can really just bring out the best in gaming for us. I really enjoyed it, and I recommend everybody check it out. I know everybody's on Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm going to jump in that game, but I might do Valhalla next. I'm not too sure. I kind of want to wait for the patches on Cyberpunk 2077, especially with all the little troubled things I've seen in the game. Either way, I'm excited for all these games, and let me know what you're playing. Are you on your PS5, your Xbox, your PC? Let me know. I just want to know what everybody's playing, and let's talk about the games in the comment section, because that's what we're here for. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.